Telegram is actually one app that I am not on, but let me tell you something about it. It is huge. It is one of the world's biggest social media and messaging platforms. It has 950 million active users monthly. I'll tell you a little bit about it because it's important to understand the backstory here. It was founded in 2013 by a Russian man named Pavel Durov. Pavel Durov is something of, I guess I would refer to him as a technological renegade. He really believes in free speech. Imagine that. So initially, his backstory is that he was running this wildly popular social media app in Russia, where he's from. And that app was called V Kontakte, forgive my really poor Russian there, until the government then started putting pressure on him, the Russian government. They were like, listen, we don't like all of these opposition communities that are running. We want you to squash them on our behalf. We don't want anybody running opposed to the Russian state in their ideas. So guess what Pavel Durov decided to do? He said, goodbye, Russia. Keep this app. I'll build a new one because I believe in free speech. And he created Telegram. It was only born for 1 year, and then he was out of Russia, took that new app with him. So you're probably thinking, where did he go? Candace, he must have come to America. It's so obvious America has free speech. You know, he did come to America. He came to America a few times, and he kind of got a different experience. I'm going to allow you to listen to him tell Tucker Carlson exactly what happened when he came to America. Take a listen.
We got too much attention from the FBI, the security agencies, wherever we came to the US. Last time I was in the US, I brought an engineer that is working for Telegram, and there was an attempt to secretly hire my engineer behind my back by cybersecurity officers or agents, wherever they are called.
The U.S. government should hire your engineer?
That's my understanding. That's what he told me.
To write code for them or to break into Telegram?
They were trying to persuade him to use certain open source tools that he would then integrate into the Telegram's code that, in my understanding, would serve as backdoors.
Would allow the U.S. government to spy on people who use Telegram?
The U.S. government, or maybe any other government, because a backdoor is a backdoor regardless of who is using it.
I love that he points out that maybe more than America, because I think we're all comprehending that we are not that free. And there is, in fact, a global elite. I believe the governments are working with one another in the West. It is just a globalized governance, so to speak. And they wanted access to Telegram for a lot of reasons. So guess what Pavel did? He decided, actually, I'm going to run this company from Dubai, which is so interesting because if you just think of our American depictions of the Middle East, we think of it as so oppressed, no freedom. Why would anybody want to actually live there? And yet here you have this tech renegade, and he ups and he moves to Dubai, and he decides to run his company from the UAE because he imagines that to be one of the only places where there might be any protection for him to simply allow users to communicate and message one another without having the government breathing over their necks. Now, here is where Pavel potentially made a mistake. It turns out that he also holds a citizenship in France. So he's also a French citizen. And he imagined himself being able to travel to France without anything happening, maybe because he doesn't understand what we have come to understand, which is that all of these countries are working together. So Pavel Durov, and this is now a headline in the New York Times, the 39-year-old, he's that young founder of the app Telegram, was taken into custody by French authorities over the weekend. Here is the background story. He was arrested at Le Bourget Airport near Paris after landing on a private plane from Azerbaijan, according to French news reports. The French judicial official said on Sunday evening that his time in custody has now been extended. Now, under French law, the initial 24 hours that you're supposed to be detained in custody can be extended up to 96 hours, depending on the seriousness of the criminal accusations. Representatives of the French police and the Interior Ministry declined to comment. In a statement on Telegram, the company, that's Telegram, said that Telegram abides by all of the EU laws and said that Pavel Durov has absolutely nothing to hide. It is obvious that there is a gang, a very big gang. Actually, it's really not that big, but they've amassed quite a bit of power, that there is a global elite operating in Western society, okay? And you can see this. Their demands are as such. You either play ball with them, we are the state, okay, or we will take you down.